Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video we are going to look at one important text-based interview question which was recently asked at Deloitte for the position of analyst. And this particular question has been shared with me by one of my LinkedIn connections, and this is going to be an interesting one. So please be with me till the end of this video to get the solution. So let's begin. Okay guys, so let's read the question. Question is that how much subcategory cells contribute to its category and how each category contributes to the overall total, all with just one measure. So this is basically the problem of percent of parent. So what is percent of parent? Let me tell you with this particular matrix visual. Before that, let me tell you about the data. I am having one measure table that contains some measures, then the product table that has this many columns, and the sales table. And this is the sales measure, which is nothing but the sum of sales amount column, and the relationship between sales and product is many to one. So one product can have multiple orders, like we can say that, right? So get back to the question. I'm having the matrix, and in the rows I have uh, category and subcategory from the product table, and in the values I'm having sales and one another measure which is percent of parent. So this is what we have to calculate. Okay guys, so let us understand what is percent of parent. So here you can see in the matrix visual I am having in the rows category and subcategory, two columns from the product table, and I can say that I am at the first level of the hierarchy, right? Because category, here you can see it is the first level, and then we can expand to the subcategory level, right? So here if I talk about percent of parent, so how the values are getting calculated, so let me tell you more specifically. So this is the sum of all these four categories, I can say, and these are the percentage of this particular value. So I can say that 1272058, it is 1% of my total. Then 9462056, which is the sales of bikes, it is 86% of the total, right? So I'm currently at the category level, and for the category level, the uh, I can say parent total is this particular value, right? I would cancel this, and now I will expand this category option, which is accessories. Now I am at the subcategory level. So if you see this 19%, right? So this is the subcategory column. Let me highlight it for you. Okay, so this is the subcategory column, right? And these all the subcategories falls under the accessories category, and at the accessory level the total is this particular value, right? So these values are the percent of this particular value which is at the accessory level. So I can say that 237096, it is 19% of 1272058, not the grandparent. This is the grandparent and this is the parent total, right? So we have to calculate only the percent of parent. So for the subcategory, the parent will become the category level total, and when we will at the category level, so for each of the category the parent will become this particular value which is the overall total. So we have to calculate the percent like that. So let's start building the percent of parent measure. So I will select this matrix visual, and for now I will remove this measure which I have already calculated, and I will go here at the measure table and I will create new another measure. Let's name this measure as percent of parent 2, because I have already calculated one measure with the same name, so both measures cannot have the same name. That's why I am adding 2 over here, right? So here I can start using variables. I will make use of variables, and let's say first I would try to calculate the category level total, like the overall total. So for that, what I will do, let's name this measure as a, and I would make use of calculate function, and I would say that I have to calculate sales, but I wanna remove the filters from the category column. Why I am doing this, I will explain it, don't worry. So if I return this particular variable, so let us see what does it return for each of the row, right? So I would commit here and I will drag this. So let me change the formatting of this to maybe currency, which is this, and 0 decimal places. Okay, so here you can see I have removed the filter from the category column. So I am currently at the category level, right? So here in the matrix visual, the category filters are there, right? Because this, we can see these are splitting because there is category filter active inside the measure. But here in the percent of parent 2, we have specifically removed the filters from the category column, right? So remove filter is what you can remove the filters, the active filters from that particular column by using this function, and it is a calculate modifier, right? So calculate is always used to remove the filters, or I can say modify the filters, right? So here if I show you, if I have to calculate the percentage, then what I can do, I can return divide my sales value by the overall total, which is A, right? Because for each of the row I would require the overall total, and out of that value then I can calculate the percent, right? So that's why here my idea is to get the overall value for each of the row, right? So if I tell you and I need to convert it into the percentage, so you can clearly see it is giving me the correct result, right? But when I expand this category option, right, so here you can see I'm not getting the correct result. Why? Let's debug this. So I'm again going to return variable A, right? Let us return the variable. Okay, and maybe I need to change the formatting to the percentage because I'm trying to visualize sales, not percentage but to the currency. Okay, so here since we have removed the filter from the category level, right? But here you can see when there is a subcategory is in the scope, right? Because here there is a subcategory and these values are getting filtered as per the subcategory, because subcategory filter is also active. This is another column, but we have not removed the filter from the subcategory. We have only removed the filter from the category. That's why we are getting the same values, because of removal of filters from the category column. But I have to remove the filters from the subcategory as well, right? So for that I would here declare another variable, and in that variable I would try to remove the filters from the subcategory column as well, right? So I would say calculate the sales, but remove the filters from subcategory column. I will close the bracket for remove filter and also for the calculate. And if I show you what does this variable b would return, so let me tell you. Okay, so you can see now it is giving me the, I can say, category level total for each of the row of the subcategory, right? So I can easily divide this 237096 out of this uh, value, which is 1272058, because this is the parent value of subcategory and this is the total for the accessories, right? So here the problem is that now when I at the category level, since I have written here variable b, and in variable b I'm just removing the filters from the subcategory level, right? So the category is active. So that's why we here need to make use of if condition. So let's start writing if condition. I would delete this variable b from the return statement and I can make use of if statement. I would check that if is in the scope category, or I can say subcategory column. So give me the variable b, because in b we have removed the filter from the subcategory, right? And if not subcategory is in the scope, then give me variable A, because from variable A we have only removed the category level filters. So if I show you what does this return, okay, so you can see currently for each of the row it is giving me the overall total, right? Because the overall total is required to calculate the percentage for category level, right? So let's look. So yes, is in the scope subcategory. Currently subcategory is not in the scope. I have not expanded that, right? That's why this evaluates to a false and it is giving me this variable A, right? And when I expand the category, so for this row, the total row, right? Here the subcategory is not in the scope. You can clearly see that we are not having the column from like the values of the subcategory at this particular row. So that's why it is giving me the grandparent total, which is required to calculate the percentage for category. But when it comes to these rows, bike racks, bike stands, steel tires and tubes, here the subcategory level is in the scope. The subcategory column is active, right? So that's why it is giving me the variable, I can say variable P, because this condition is true. This particular condition is true and it is giving me the variable B, and from variable B we have removed the filters from the subcategory, right, which is required to calculate the percentage for each of the subcategory, because it will give me the accessories level total for each of the subcategory. Now I can make use of divide function. I would say divide the sales value by variable B, and similarly divide the sales value with variable A, right? Let us commit to the measure and I will change it to the percentage again from here. Okay, so now you can clearly see I'm getting the correct result, right? When I'm at the category level, so it is giving me the percentage of the overall total, and when I'm at the subcategory level, it is giving me the percentage by considering the parent level total, which is this particular value. So yes guys, that's all about this video. I will see you next video, and I would also recommend to watch my YouTube video on top 10 Power BI interview questions. I will drop the link of that video in the description. Do check it out from there, and I'll see you next video. Thank you so much.